Hello and welcome to episode 22 of my Solace Crafting tutorial Let's Play series. This episode will be on starting a town, but before that I need underwear that I need to make, and before that I want to mention something as an addendum to the last episode, which was on farming. There's always something I forget to mention with farming and growing food and the plants. What you have to realise is I'm in tier 0 at the moment, so all the food and plants I grow will be tier 0. If I go to tier 5 and pick the plants and pumpkins and other foods and plant them in a tier 0 zone, they're only going to grow to be tier 0. So what I'm saying is whatever tier zone you're in dictates the tier of the food that you're going to grow. You obviously need the seeds from the tier that you want to grow, but you also need to be in the right tier level to grow the right. So if you're in tier 5 and you want to grow tier 5 food and plants, plant them in tier 5. Don't plant them in tier 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, because you'll only get that tier food or plant from it. So yeah, I hope that's it's important to realise that, because I went and picked a load of tier, when I first started playing, I picked a load of tier 6 pumpkins, planted them here, and when harvested them they're all tier 0, so just realise that. Right, just to quickly show something else that I've been doing. Before you build a town you need to get organised, and up here you'll see I've started placing down chests, and I've decided, because it can become a real mess of chests, so there's only one way I believe you can do chests nicely so you don't get that many of them, and that is stick to creating a base whenever you hit a new tier and only have chests containing that tier's worth of materials. Also, something else that I've discovered that I like is the common resources. I keep the chests as the standard wood colour. Uncommon chests I'm going to now make green, and rare chests, when I find rare resources, I will make blue. That way at a glance when I'm over here I can look over here and see where my rare uncommon materials are and where my rare materials are. I think that just makes a lot of sense. To me anyway, it does. Right, so there's that. You've got to get yourself organised before building a town, because you're going to need a lot of resources, especially wood and lumber. So I have been out gathering lots of wood. The only thing that, well no, actually I do have enough iron as well. So you need iron, wood, and you're going to need some stone. I'm not sure about the, whoops. Not sure about the stone, but you're definitely going to need lots of lumber and timber. Oh, stone, that's what I come up here for. So I'll put a stack on me just in case. Right, okay, let's make some underwear first though. Underwear is something that you can equip in your inventory window just there. That's the underwear slot, and what underwear does is it protects you from temperatures of hot and cold. And anyway, it's decent, isn't it, to wear underwear? So where's me tailoring? You need to be within range of your tailoring crafting table, so we go to crafting, tailoring, and I believe it's under armor. Yeah, there we go, underwear. See, it gives us 1 heat tolerance and one cold tolerance, so we want to craft that. It doesn't give us any further benefit of with the level. No doubt it's tied to the tier, or maybe not. Anyway, so let's craft that. There you go, we got underwear, so we're partially decent now. You know, notice now we got cold and heat tolerance. Right, building a town then. So let's get started with that. I don't think it matters too much it being night. Okay, so that's my farm. in that direction. The reason I've done 3 tiles of stone floor is to keep my buildings separated from the center, just so I can keep moving around without it getting all a bit too close. So if I press the tab key and go to the town tab, to start a town, the very first thing you start with is the storehouse. That is the first thing that you have to build. A central location for storing items. Upgrading a storehouse provides more population and storage, as well as upgrading the town rank every 4th upgrade. So that's important, because the way this works is when I place down the storehouse, I will then be able to build all the buildings under the heading of Outpost. So I can build a forager, reaper, hunter, miner, logger, quarrier and siphoner. Once all of them buildings are built, that's my limit for my town until I upgrade my storehouse. As it says there, every 4th upgrade you will upgrade the rank. You need a higher rank to do a hamlet, so you need rank 5 to start a hamlet, and then I can start building all of these buildings. Now all of the buildings in the list have bonuses. Either it's recipes they'll give you, or resources, or the materials to upgrade the other buildings. One thing I love about Solace Crafting is everything's upgradable. There is one important thing for you to realise, however, before you go making a town. Towns and the buildings are a long endeavour. And what I mean by that is, I'll build this storehouse, but it'll only have a tiny storage of 20. So that's not going to be enough really, because if I've got a logger and a quarrier and a miner and a hunter getting all these resources, that means they're only going to be able to collect 20, and my storehouse will be full. 20 of each resource, that is. So they'll fit in, the storehouse will fit 20 wood, 20 stone, 20 hides, 20 stalks, but it will fill up at 20. So that's one of the reasons you will have to keep upgrading your storehouse. But however, it does use a lot of resources. You'll see you'll need endurance for towns, but they're so much fun. And another thing though, and you might be saying, oh Gamester, I'm not going to mind building towns, what are you talking about? I won't mind upgrading them. Bear in mind, you're going to find that you're going to possibly need to do a town on every tier, because the resources they gather in this tier are only going to be tier 0. That won't be no good to man or beast once I get to tier 1 and start wanting to upgrade all my stuff with tier 1 stuff. So why do a tier 0 town? Well, because things like stone, tier 0, you can always use for building your floors and other items. So tier 0 stone will always be useful. So there's one reason, because you'll always no doubt have uses for the resources. Anyway, what I'm getting at is that every new tier you get to, you're going to want to build a new town and eventually get to a city. So it's a big game. Let's get started. So we're going to build a storehouse. That's where it starts. So over here you see we need 200 timber to start with, and it will generate free population. And because it will generate free population, we can then build 3 of these houses for the outpost. The 3 I start with are the most important ones, which is logger and quarrier. Oh, you have to start with a forager. You'll see. Let's construct. Right, so same keys as for building, moving the stuff around, as you can see in the left there, WASD keys. Always remember to lower the building, otherwise it's going to be on a mind you, what it does sometimes, the game, is it forces you to have it raised. Mind you, no it's not. Let's just get it green first. The reason it's not letting me do that is because before we can start the town, I need to upgrade my Solace, because it's all about the power, babe. Now, if we go to upgrades, in fact, let's show you this quickly. If I do go into build mode and show power, you'll see that's why I couldn't place the building, because of the power. So we need to sort that out. Can't be doing with that. So let's go to here. So I did get myself some light before starting this episode, because you do need light when you're doing a town. So let's have a look and upgrade. And so I want to upgrade the power. Bang. Let's have a look. See, yeah, so it's a bit further, not enough. Let's upgrade again. The power, it's gonna, it always uses just 10 light each time. There we go. Now let's have a look. There you go. I mean, it's not the perfect size. We're going to get it bigger than that. Now let's show you a really cool pro tip, okay, on building your town. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to bring up the town window. We're going to get the storehouse. Going to click construct. Going to move it to somewhere it can be placed, like there. Okay, and here's the pro tip. When you've got your building your town and you notice there's no radius for the power at the moment, you can't see how far your power is. So what you can do is press the B key at the same time. Isn't that cool? Now you can see the radius of your power whilst building your town. So anyway, what you have to do though, before I can build this storehouse, I have to go turn off the build mode. So you're just checking, is the building, how nicely is it fitting within your power radius. So you might wanna, I might wanna move this building over a bit so I can have a road going that way to the next buildings, because to get a city you're gonna have to have lots of roads to fit it all in. So anyway, let's get this building to the right level. Always remember to do that. You don't want it up on stilt. You don't want it high off the ground. It's not nice. Right, so let's put this there. That gives me then room. Really I should do it one tile, but you can't see how wide the tile is unless I switch to build mode. No, it's, so you know what, that's a tiny little gap. I don't think I'll worry about that. So let's just do the building here. That is about it. That's about the right place. There. That's where I'll put it. There we go. You can't build buildings under the platforms, so that's why I made the platform the size of the square area underneath it. Okay, now this way what I can do is just extend this road. That way. I like to have gaps in between the buildings, because otherwise it can all start getting a bit cluttered. I'm going to have to move that torch and do wall torches, I think. Yeah, I'll have to start doing wall torches. That was Shift F, by the way, brings up that option window that you just see. So yeah, what I want to do is have a road between each set of buildings. Otherwise it gets too cluttered. Right, okay, and plus now I know where to place the next building. Right, so let's go back to the town. Quick look at the storehouse just to show you. So, okay, as the people in your outpost gather resources, they'll go in here. At the moment, though, I've only got a limit of 20. It will fit in there, 20 before it's full. Good news is you can upgrade. Oh, there you see there, rank 1. Actually no, it's not showing us the limit, but I think the first level is 20 it will store. To upgrade it we need 50 timber and 50 stone. So we won't get to upgrading that yet. Let's put down the other buildings so we can do 3 more buildings, because that's what a storehouse will fit in it. So let's go to here, let's go to town. So next, let's show you what happens if you try and build something other than the forager. So I'll go for a logger next. So this is going to require 200 lumber and 5 light. Every hour I'm going to get 10 logs from the logger. Oh, this is lumber, so I'm going to need to do myself some lumber. Oh no, I've used up nearly all my lumber. Not good. Not good at all. I've got 400 lumber to play with. Then I'm going to have to go gather some more. Yeah, so it uses a chunk of resources. Oops. Right, so town and logger. Now you need to build a forager to feed them. So I believe it won't let me build this. We'll see. I can't remember. It's been a little while since I built a town. So we want to lower it down. Then we want to turn it around. And then bring it on home. There we go. Now. Oh, it has let me build it. I thought that you had to build the forager to feed them first. Let's have a look at the town statistics. Yeah, see, food's on 0, so I want to do the forager next. So food is starting to be gathered. Oh, we can show power there now. Cool. I must have missed that. Right, okay, so the next one I'll do is a forager. And we're going to need another 200 lumber and 5 light. So you can see you're going to go through wood like you're just going to need to gather loads and loads when you want to get into building a town. Right, so I want to put a road now. And now we can put it here. Oh, I'm going to need to remove this torch. Let's come out there. Okay, let's go back to town. Now we're going to do a forager. Forages for wild edibles from the surrounding area, providing a town with food. So we won't be getting any of the food. It's to feed the other workers that are going to be populating this town. Let's construct. And that can go there. Right, cool. So now the forager, if we check the town, he'll start gathering food to feed the populace. See, the annoying thing about showing the power here is you can't turn around, you can't view in any direction. That's why it's that handy, that tip that I told you earlier about building up the build window, bringing up the build window so you can spin around. And this is, you're static, you're stuck looking just like here. You can't move at all. Even by trying, you can't. So right, we've got a logger and a forager. The next best one definitely would be the miner, because I'm very short of iron. I need 200 more lumber and 5 more light. And I think I'm going to have to gather some wood. I've got plenty of light, but I don't think I've got enough lumber. So right, let's go chop trees because I want to get this other building built. Towns are a lot of fun. I've not shown you the upgrading side of the town yet. Oops, there's the timer. Right, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to pause it, gather up enough wood, and then I'll be back to build the miner. See you in a bit. Right, I've harvested a load more timber, so oops, let's turn it into lumber. Need this 200 more lumber. And let's build, oh lag, let's build a mining. So I want to put a road in front of that first of all. And I'll put the miner there. So back into town and miner. Struct. Lower it down. There we go. And bang. There we go. So now we got a miner. So we've got a logger, forager and miner. A great start. Oops, I wish it stopped doing this. It's trying to load up, I think, areas of the map. Right, so let's take a quick look at the buildings we've just done. So here's the logger. The logger will harvest 10 wood, 10 timber an hour. The storage house we have will only fit 20 timber in it. So we have to remember to come back and empty out the warehouse and put it into our chests. Also with the logger here, you can see you can upgrade the logger to rank 2. In order to do that, we need 3 times wooden construction supplies. In episode 1 I showed you the carpenter building. The carpenter building, the carpenter will make us the wooden construction supplies if we give him 200 is it either timber or lumber and 10 iron. So then he'll make us them resources. We can also learn recipes from the logger, but we need to upgrade it to rank 2, so we need to do that upgrade, and it gives us the recipe, gives us hardened lumber. Now underneath harvesting, the logger can harvest a special resource which is called an encounter, and it's scale resin. So when we find a scale resin deposit, I can build a Solace monolith by it, and I will build a logger by it and assign them to just harvest scale resin. I cannot assign this logger because there's no encounter within the town limits, so there isn't no deposit of scale resin. Hopefully that makes sense. So there you go, there's the 2 tabs. Upgrading, you want to upgrade to rank 2 so you can unlock that recipe. What's hardened lumber for? That's for upgrading buildings. Right, okay, moving on to the next one, the forager. The foragers has upgrades as well. You can put them to rank 2, but we need wooden construction supplies for that. I've never upgraded the forager before. I imagine it just means they will either get more food or get a higher tier food. So that will be fun for us to find out together in the future. And lastly we have the miner. The miner, again, same as the logger. If we upgrade them, we will then unlock the recipe to steel. And again, harvesting, we can assign them to harvest coal. So when we find an encounter for coal, a coal node, a coal deposit, then we can assign the miner to harvest it, but we would have to build a miner next to the resource. So that means a Solace first, and then we could build a miner. And of course we'd have to start with a warehouse. So mandatory next to any of these encounters is a Solace, then a warehouse, then the worker of the resource encounter that you found. Hopefully that makes sense. So there we are, and that's where we're at with towns. Now to go further with this town, I need to upgrade my storehouse. So we'll do that in the next episode. So we'll have a town episode continued, and in the next episode I'll try and get this to rank 5. Not promising, but in the next episode I'll try and do that. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep you safe. Thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day. Oh, I know there's probably loads of stuff I've left out, but you know what, I've just tried to do what I can think of. Goodbye.